We make another stop in New Jersey at the famed Takter stable. We talk with Nancy about her 2-year-old filly Trotter of the Year, Champagne Problems, who is coming back at 3, her pacing colt Captain Optimistic, and of course trotting star Carl, who returns to racing in 2025. Thank you so much for making time for us today. It's always nice to be with you here in the spring. Let's kick it off by talking about that nice 2-year-old trotting filly you had last year. One that the kids own, Champagne Problems. How's she look coming back here at 3?
She looks super coming back at 3. I'm really happy with her. She grew up quite a bit, which is nice. You know, you always want to see some sort of physical progression between 2 and 3, and she's definitely taken that. But, you know, she was just such a nice filly. She's so professional. She shows up every day, has her ears forward, and just does her job.
You know, over 500,000 made last year. What a nice one for Ella and MJ to get in on.
Yeah, that was lucky because I was actually picking between her and another tactical landing colt, and he ended up going on gate pretty early, so I picked the right one for them. So obviously it was super fun to share that with them, and I think they're both really looking forward to this year.
Looking at her last year, she really showed so many great starts for us. Strengths for her, you think, last year, and then we're going to make her extra competitive here at 3.
She's pretty handy and versatile, but like more than anything, she just really... she knows what it means to win. She can get a little lazy sometimes on the front where she just kind of like, all right, I'm front, you know, and then, but as soon as somebody comes up next to her, she's very game, and she kind of digs in and gets the job done.
Spicy Nice, another nice filly you had last year, kind of in the shadow though. She's the daughter of Maven. Was she in the shadow a little bit of Champagne Problems? Can we see more, or what do you think we'll see from her in 2025?
Well, she's training back really super. You know, she was just kind of a little, I mean, she's physically smaller than Champagne Problems, but she's grown a little bit taller this year. Kind of wish she would fill out maybe a little bit more. But she's kind of like a lean type, so I mean, you can't change what God has given you. So, but she's super nice. She's really good gaited, and you know, she too has a really good attitude. So hopefully, you know, this is going to be a big year for her.
Moving on to the pacing side of things, Captain Optimistic. He was a nice 2-year-old colt for you last year in a tough group of 2-year-old colts.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the nicest group of 2-year-old colts that we've seen in a really long time. So for him to be a part of, you know, the top echelon of that group is really cool. Super nice horse. He's never tired. Like, he has more energy than most, more than I'd sometimes want him to have. But really nice. He's filled out tremendously. Really good gaited. I think that, you know, maybe if he would have gotten to the front in the Breeders' Crown Final, we may have been standing here talking about him as 2-year-old pacing colt of the year, because I think he really would have. He just got a little too jammed up and running in the last turn, and he lost a little ground there. But he bounced back in the Governor's Cup and, you know, really put that field away. So I think he has a really big year ahead of him.
Of course, you're no stranger to that jump from 2 to 3, especially with those colts. What do you think he has to offer for this year at 3?
He just has a great gait. Really, really good gait. He doesn't wear an overcheck, no boots, nothing. If we can just keep him steering straight, which he has all winter, I think that, you know, I think he's going to be very tough to beat this year.
Deja Blue, 8 starts last year. She's got that fame of being the daughter of Atlanta. Tell us about Deja Blue.
Really nice filly, really good gaited. She didn't really love the Meadowlands at some points last year, so I hope she's kind of gotten over that at her 3-year-old year, because obviously some of the bigger stakes are going to start off right there. But really nice filly. I think she, you know, she's got high speed. Trotted fast last year. One of those races in Lexington. Filled out quite a bit and grew up a little bit. She's not a big filly, but neither was Atlanta. So I think she's going to have a really big year, and like, her pedigree is going to shine through. She's Atlanta Muscle Hill, so I think that's just going to even carry her just a far way.
Speaking of pedigree, now I saw you on your Instagram put up a thing of my BFF Annie, the full sister to Carl. She's got that pedigree. Tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, she is super nice tactical landing filly. She's full sister to Carl. She only raced one time last year where she was a winner. She just is a handful. She is taking every piece of horsewomanship out of me because she just wants things done her way, so somehow I have to make her think that everything is her idea and not my idea. But she's training absolutely great. She trained here on the farm last week in 59. We're going to take her to the Meadowlands and train this week, and you know, hopefully with more experience in racing, she realizes that this is a great sport and that she wants to be a part of it, because she, I mean, I have a huge, really nice group of 3-year-old trotting fillies, and she's probably the fastest one out of the entire group. So if we can just get her a little bit manageable, I think that she will have a very big year.
Now, before we let you go, of course, we talked a little bit about Carl's sister, but what about Carl, right? What a year, giving you those back-to-back Hambletonians last year. Now, this time last year, it was all about Carl. We're coming here at the farm today. I feel like he heard us walking around the barn. Head comes out over the gate. He said, hey, I'm still here. Are you excited to race him back at 4?
Absolutely. You know, I kind of wanted to race him at 4 to begin with, so when the deal kind of fell through with Diamond Creek and, you know, we decided to bring him back at 4, I was excited because I know that he has more to prove on the track. He didn't finish his year very strong at 3. He was battling some sickness, which, you know, in return ended up messing with his fertility a little bit. But he is coming back so good. He's actually going 3 days a week to Walnut Ridge Farm and breeding. His fertility is great now, so I'm looking forward to next year having him stand stud, and hopefully we can add some to his resume this year. And you know, I think it's good for the sport because he's such a star and everybody loves Carl. He has the biggest fan base ever. I randomly go places and people are like, what about Carl? How's Carl doing? So I think it'll be really nice for the sport to get him back on the track this year. And like I said, I think he's got a few really great wins left in him.
Nancy, always a pleasure. And I'm sure this isn't the first of the last. We'll be talking to you in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm awfully glad I won.
The Hambletonian, it's one of the most prestigious races.
It's quite a thrill. This is one of the biggest thrills of my life.
We delivered. The horse delivered. It was amazing. I can't believe it.
I am stunned. I'm absolutely stunned.
This is obviously the pinnacle.
Just something that I can't explain.
This is just an absolute dream come true.
It feels good now, but I'm sure it's going to feel even better tomorrow.
For me to do it, this is my moment.
I might have got a little excited.